Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending some time with some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside with a full face makeup tutorial and Bible verse memorization. We've been working through the Advent calendar this season. So I have been playing with makeup for a very long time, and I just love the fact that I get up every morning and finger paint. So our easy makeup theme for today is going to be Frosted Fantasy. We are going to have some snowflake eyes, some neutral lips and lashes, and we're going to be playing with some Juvia's palettes. So grab your palettes, grab your brushes, grab your lashes, and then let's get going. Oh, and be ready because our new theme song is getting ready to play. Are you ready for this? Okay, here we go. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. First days at eight, can't wait. I know, right? I was so excited about that, and I am so excited to get to share that with you. So, we're not here for the music, although that's a good part of it. So, we're going to get our Bible verse. Well, let's start out with our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Now, this week, like I said, we are working through the Advent calendar. So the second Advent calendar, that would be Luke 2:1-7. We're going to focus on that 7th verse, that last verse there. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger because there was no place for them in the inn. And that's Luke 2:7. So that is a verse we're going to be working on this week as we work through that Advent calendar. Let me get that verse, long as it may be, scrolling across the bottom of our screen. This week, I feel for as long as that verse is. When we use that as our timer, we're only going to have to say it one time. All right. So, like I said, we're going to be playing, we're going to do a snowflake look, and we're going to be playing with some Juvia's Place palettes. So let me just show you which ones. We're going to be using the Afro Galactic, and then we're also going to be playing with I Love Ice. Now, this can be done with any series of blues. Let's see, there's a dark, 2 mediums, and a light. And then we have a white eyeliner, which I just realized I didn't bring over here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, so all our products for today's podcast are going to be on the website. If I can get everything loaded up here, there we go. It's going to be on a little bit of makeup and whole lot of Jesus.com. So if you're unsure of what I have used during the podcast today, you can hop over to there and it'll all be there ready for you. Just about all of them are Amazon products, so safety in purchasing there. All right, so we've got that verse scrolling. We've got that ready to go. So let's just jump in. We're going to play with a few new things today. So we're going to start out, though, with a staple. We're going to start out with our Benefit Professional Primer. And we're just going to get a little bit of that on our finger there. And we're going to work that between. This is just going to get your face primed and ready to go. So smoothing out fine lines and wrinkles. If you have combo or oily skin, this is going to help you to control that all day long because it does have oil control properties. If you don't have oily skin or combo skin, though, don't worry about it. It'll be fine for you too. All right. So now we're going to jump in with some concealer. And I am using the Bye Bye Under Eye. This is the shade 11 Light Nude. And we're just going to use a little ribbon of that. And we're just going to get it where we want it. We're just going to kind of big picture with it. And then we'll let it set for a second. Let it warm up to our body temperature so that we can blend it out. All right. So let me recap that so I don't end up with that everywhere. I know it's a little cray-cray right now. Don't worry about it. Oh, I hear y'all dinging. Let me get over to the chat. I'm so sorry. Okay. Good morning, beautiful. So nice to have you here hanging out with us this morning. Go ahead and give me a shout out. Tell me where you're coming from. Whatever platform you're on, that will show up today. So I mentioned some new things. Man, did you get in on that Juvia's Place Black Friday sale? Okay, so this is the Juvia's Place 102 flat foundation brush. I'm going to be using that today. So now that this is warmed up to our body temperature, we're just going to blend that out. Okay, and I've used this a couple of times so you can see the white's a little dirty. But this, I mean, the beauty of the brush doesn't really matter, right? But it doesn't hurt either. So I mean, not only is this a beautiful brush, but it performs well. So excited about that. Now, new thing. So, Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. It's not new to the world, but it is new to me. I tried it once before and wasn't a super fan, but this time I don't know what's different, but I am so loving this time around. So, let's see, what am I shade? Thank you for asking that. I am Marico 710. So we're just going to give right there in that center of that brush, we're just going to give a squirt of that, and that is probably a little excessive. This is a full coverage foundation. Because it is a mattifying foundation, if you have that combo oily skin, great place for you to be. So we're just going to kind of tap that into, let's see, get your hair out the way. We're just kind of goop that. Are you supposed to say that word? I'm not sure. Okay, we're just going to get that where we want it to be. And then when it's in the big places, then you can start blending it out. We're going to get that right up and around that eye. I'm going to work it down to the chin. And I did their shade match online, and I feel it was pretty spot on, but I feel like it's just like one shade too light. But I wanted to give it a try. Oh, wow, it looks like really light on here. Well, we're going to have to let that bronzer do its job big time, huh? There we go. What is it? For every reaction, there's an opposite and equal. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction or something like that. So we're going to let our bronzer and highlighter be our opposite reaction to this a little bit light shade. So all in all, I think their shade match did pretty good. Definitely hit it spot on with the being the neutral part of it. It's just a little bit too light. So we'll see how the setting powder goes with it here in just a minute. Because if this one's too light, that's probably going to be a little too light. But that's okay. Let's go with it here. Okay. So we are just blending that into all of our cracks and crevices. I don't know about you, but right here in the cupid's bow, I got like a little wrinkly thing happening. So make sure you get that really good too. Okay. Working that up around the eyes. There we go. And you know what? As long as we're here already, let's just go ahead and get a little primer on our eyelids. So I'm going to use the Eye Prep Eye Prime. This is the shade 1 from Juvia's Place. Let me give that a little bit of a shake here. There we go. We're going to get just a smidge of that on the tip of my finger right there. And get that on each eyelid. That will prep your eyelid for the beautiful colors that we're going to be playing with today. And we are going to be doing a cut crease, so we'll be using this again here in just a minute. Okay, now our eyelid is all ready to go. Now we're going to switch over to another Juvia's Place brush that I purchased. This one is the 101, the tapered powder blush. And this is going to go with the I Am Magic setting powder. And this is the shade White Sands. And again, on the top of this, they gave it really nice holes so your powder can actually make it through the holes. So super, super excited about that. So we're just going to tap that in and then tap that off. And then we're going to start out working around the eye area first. I know you know that I do not like powder brushes, but let me tell you, this brush is heaven. And because it's got a little bit of shape to it, it just works effortlessly in and around the eye area. So I am a fan of this brush. And now we're just going to set that. Brushing that in everywhere you just put that foundation. I can already see the powder fluffing though. What am I thinking? I'm thinking, how much dusting am I going to have to do as a result of this? We all got our things. Mine is I hate dusting. Give me a shout out in the chat. What household chore is it that you hate? Because I know we all got something that we don't like. Okay, I got toilets. I don't like doing the toilets. There we go. Laundry. Don't like doing laundry. I don't mind doing the laundry. I don't really care for the folding and putting it up part. Okay, so we are going to switch to our contouring now. And actually, now that I got the powder on there, it doesn't look quite so pale as it did. Okay, this is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. And we are going to be using this brush right here. It's actually a foundation brush. We're going to use this nice paddle for the bronzer and this here for the highlighter. So using the flat side of that brush here, we're going to go from the top of the ear, kind of round it out a little bit, heading towards that nose, but we're going to stop before we get to the center of the eye. And we're working above the hollow of your cheek. And then we're going to go up the side of that temple there. Now remember, if you have any questions while we are live, me and that mouse in my pocket, make sure, that's not really a funny story because right now I'm battling creatures. But anyways, so if you've got a question, go ahead and ask that live and I'll do my best to get that asked and answered while we're all on here together. We're going to switch to that shortest side. We're going to go from the bottom of the ear, under that jawline to the corner of the mouth. Just keep a neutral face so you're actually hitting it like right under that jawline there. There you go. Staying with that same skinny side, we're going to go from the top of the nose and run that right along the side here all the way to the tip. You don't want like a whole bunch of bronzer here, just a little bit. We just want to narrow that nose just a smidge, and then we're going to tip off that nose. Any place you need a little love, go ahead and go back and hit that. I'm feeling like today I need a little extra bronzer because I got that pale thing going on. All right, now we're going to use the Tribe highlighter. This is from Juvia's Place, and we're going to switch to this end of our brush. Just going to swirl that around. We're going to go on the top of the cheek and then right beside that brow bone. And then straight down the center of the face, making sure we hit that Cupid's bow so we can get a little plumpy look on our top of our lips there. Okay, I'm feeling like that's a little bit better. I got some color now. I'm going to switch to a blush brush, and I'm going to use the Juvia's Place. This is the Volume 4. And while I have hit pan, we're going to use this one here. We're going to have a lot of stuff happening on our eyes today, so we're going to throttle it back just a little bit on our lips and our eyes. Right between that bronzer and that highlighter, and then between the bronzer and the highlighter on the temple. And right up on that bronzer up there, and whatever's left, you don't need any extra because these things are very pigmented. Just hit a little on the edge of the nose, a little on the chin there. Okay. I actually kind of like that. That came out not too bad considering how light we started. Okay, so we're going to play with a couple of things today. First thing we're going to do is we are going to say our verse together, and then we're going to press on with our with our lips. Just kidding. Okay, so the verse is scrolling across your screen there. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. Luke 1:7. And while the whole passage for that second Advent calendar is 1:27, we're just concentrating on verse 7 this week. All right, so we're going to line our lips. This is the Juvia's Place Luxe Liner, and this is the shade Coffee Bean. And this is just going to give us a little bit of a punchy nude lip. So we're going to start here in that Cupid's bow. And then we're going to round that out to the outside corner. Same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're going to start in the center of the bottom lip and just give yourself a little marker. We just want to know how far down is that lip going to go. Extend it just a smidge past your lip line there so we can get as much real estate as possible. And now we're going to round that out to the outside corner. You can usually feel where that line is going to be, because when you start to line just a smidge outside of your lips, all of a sudden your head will tell you, oh my gosh, you're coloring outside the line. That's when you're in the right place. Okay, so take a step back, take a look, make sure you like the shape of what you've just done. Okay, so now we're going to blend that out a little bit so we can get kind of an ombre going on. So take your middle finger, because it can't apply as much pressure, it's a weaker finger. And we're going to drag just to the inside of that line just to fade that out a smidge. And yes, the answer is you could use a brush to do this. I just don't want to have to grab another brush, so I'm just going to use my finger. There you go. And we're just going to blend that out a little bit just to soften that edge. And I know you know that I do not like gloss, but today, because this is so cute, we're going to do a gloss on the top of this. This is a Juvia's Place candy shop. This is the bubblegum lip gloss. I know. But look at that. It's just beautiful. Okay, so let's gloss those lips. This one has just like a smidge of pink, but brown. Just a nice blend. That is correct. It'll be in your show notes, but this is called bubblegum. There we go. You get just a little bit of that kind of chocolate color going on, but it has just a smidge of pink happening to it. So love, love, love. Okay, so now to the fun part. Now we've got all of that done so that we can play with this. So let me show you what we're going to be dealing with. So like I said, we're using 2 palettes. Use whatever you've got, a dark, 2 mediums, and a light. We're going to be in the Afro-Galactic palette. In this one, we're going to be up here in Orbit, and then we're going to be down here in Alien. Oh, let me get it over here where you can see. Alien, kind of a silvery blue, and then a dark blue, which got a little bit of shimmer. That's Orbit. And then in the I Live, I Love Ice, this one doesn't have names, but we're going to be in this one here. And then we may dabble in this one just a smidge. We'll see how it goes, but we're definitely going to be using those. Okay, so let us start out with our fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M441, and actually for this little thing, I'm going to go back to my highlighter. This is the volume 3, and we're just going to put a little of that highlighter up here on the top of that brow bone. Kind of a non-color color, just giving us something to blend into. There you go. I'm going to set that brush aside, and now we're going to work with, let's try, why am I not seeing it? There it is. This is a Morphe M506, and this is just a little denser. It's going to help us to kind of work up there around that crease. We're going to grab our Afro-Galactic palette, and we're going to be right here in Orbit. We're just going to get color on the tip of that brush, and we're going to use that right on that socket. I don't know why, but every time I say the word socket, I hear it in like a British accent. Socket. I'm going. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to get it right up here on the socket. I don't know. Maybe it's Australian. I don't know. And we're going to blend that out. With this color here, we want to make sure, especially if you have hooded eyes like I do, I know y'all hear me say this 1,000 times. When you look forward, you want to be able to see that blue poking up above the fold of that eye. And right now you can see that is not the case. So let me bring it up. There we go. Bring that up. Now, when I look straight ahead, you can see that blue up above that fold. So depending on the shape of your eye, you still want to be able to see that. So whatever your shape is, look forward and make sure that that is peeking up above. Some of you may end up with a little more real estate right here. Some of you may end up with less. But the point is you want to be able to see that color. So now let's do that same thing on the other side. Got that shadow just on the tip of that brush. And then we're going to bring that up. Remember, when you're dealing with these pigmented shadows, you want to have less on the brush and go over it more times. That's how you're going to get the smoothest look and the least amount of fallout. Okay, looks like I need a little bit more right here so they're even. Okay, there we go. If you do have any fallout, you can grab a fluffy brush and just dust that off while you're right here, right now. Okay. And actually, let's go ahead and bring that blue in just a little. I should have done this when I was there a minute ago. Sorry. We're just going to give that a nice V coming in right there. Okay. Now, go ahead and do that again. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab, this is a Morphe 456. It's a little bit of a fluffy brush, but a little less dense than what we are just working with. We're going to use this to blend out that blue into that highlighter. So we're going to go this one right here. This is in the I Live, I Love Ice. And again, you're just getting a little on that tip. We really don't want a whole lot because all we're doing is blending out with this, but it's just going to go right here, right on the edge of that blue to that highlighter. And we're just going to use it to soften the edge of that blue. There you go. Sometimes you want a hard edge. This time we don't. Okay. Now I feel like we need just like a little something on the outside. Maybe we're good. We'll run with it as it is. Okay. I am going to grab a, what is this one? It is a Morphe M224. And we're going to use this for, I told you we're going to be doing a cut crease. So go ahead and grab back your I Prep, I Prime. And we're going to get just a little bit of the tip of this and go ahead and work that cut crease in. So like just seriously, oop, that's way too much. We just need a little bit on the tip there. And we're going to go ahead and come in here and give us a nice clean surface there. This is going to help that nice silvery color that we're using be able to really stand out. I like this brush because it has a nice, clean, firm edge on it. So it enables you to get a really nice, crisp, clean line. And we're going to get that all the way down into that V over here. There you go. We're going to let that set for just a second to dry down. And you can see how pretty that came out. It's just nice and crisp and clean. And we are going to grab a shadow brush. I believe this one is, yeah, this one's a MAC, like 280, 230, 239. I don't know, something like that. We're going to go into the Afrogalactic again, and we're going to use the alien right here. And that is going to go over the top. So you're going to dust that on there, just on one side. And then you're just going to press that in to what you just did. And that's just going to give you that nice, glittery, shimmery, light color right there. We're just pressing that onto that primer. Nice. Now, if you need to come back in at all, you can take that blue, just blend that blue back out right there. Feel like I need a little something, something. Where's my square one? There it is. So this one here, which is a Morphe M410, this one does really good. If you get the color just right there on the tip, you can just really form that around where you want it. Nice. Okay. Get any fall away. There we go. And now we're going to add, no, let's go ahead and finish the whole eye and then we'll come back and do the snowflake before we do the mascara. How about that? Okay, so we're going to grab our eyeliner. And today I am using the Killer Liner from Too Faced. This is the Killer Black. We're just going to give a little definition on the outside corners, on the top and the bottom. And then that will help us to give just a little intensity there, just to kind of, really draw your look into those eyes. So we're going to start out. We're only going to go, the blue stopped right about here. So we're going to go from that outside corner just a little bit past where that blue is. So it's like what? About a third of the way. And then we're going to line the bottom about that same third of a way, right against that lash line. There you go. And you don't need to worry about it being like too neat because we're getting ready to put some shadow over the top of it. So that kind of just gives us a base playing field. Then we're going to grab our smudger. This is a Real Techniques, a 087. We're going to go back into that blue that we had, the orbit. And we're going to get that right on the tip of that smudger. And we're going to work it along that lower lash line. So we're going to go from the outside and just smudge that all the way to the inside. You may have to keep coming back to your palette a few times. Don't worry about it. Better to have little on there than too much. I'm going to go all the way to the inside there. I'm going to go ahead and take that smudger and work it around the corner of the eye. And then let's go ahead and let's see. Let's do like a little tiny one like this. This one is a Morphe M491. And we're going to go back in the I Love Ice. And we're going to go back into that blue that we used up on the top. Just swirl it right there on that tip. And we're just going to blend out right underneath here. Just soften that edge a little. And dust away any fallout. Now I want to give a little color to the inside there. So I'm going to use, this is a It Cosmetics. This is a precision eyeline definer thing, I think. So we're going to go into Afrogalactic. We're going to go back into this Alien. We're going to get it just right on that tip on that one side. And we're going to go right here in the corner. And then meet that corner to that bottom shadow you just did. There we go. Just kind of shedding that, spreading that little shimmery love we got going on. Okay, now I told you we were going to do a snowflake here, and I also told you that somehow I did not grab my white eyeliner, so I'm going to be rolling back over here. Let me grab that. All right, one of these is it. Here we go. The white. There we go. I knew it was one of these three. This is the NYX Epic White Liner. And this is a waterproof precision eyeliner. This is going to help you be able to put those little snowflakes on there. So this has a nice tip on it. You can see just a nice pointed tip. It is a liquid liner. So just right out here on the outside edge, we're just going to give a little snowflake. You may need to keep coming back in because this does dry out. There we go. Let's just give a little. Something right there. And we'll put another one over here. That is one thing definitely. When you get older, you get more wrinkles in your eyelid, and these little crisp lines are a little harder to do. Do your best. Do your best. I'm just going to give it 2 little flicks here. 2 little flicks here. Give it a little circle in the middle there. Okay, one more. What you think? I kind of like it uneven like that. I think I'm going to leave it like that. So however many snowflakes you want to put on there. And that will be, you know what we could do though? because I just can't leave well enough alone. Let's give it a couple of like snowflakes around it. Yes. Okay, that's an even number. It has to be an odd number. Okay, there we go. Now we got a little bit of snowflake happening. So let's go ahead and get our liquid eyeliner on so that we'll be ready for those false lashes. So I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is the liquid eyeliner. We're just going to line from one end to the other, and that's going to give us a good, nice, clean runway for our lashes to stick on. So we're just going to go from the outside edge, hugging right along that lash line, all the way to the inside edge. Same thing on the other side. I usually kind of do it like in two halves, and then you just make those two halves meet in the middle. So it doesn't need to be like supremely perfect because you're going to put false eyelashes on the top of it. And so you're not really going to see a whole lot of what you've just done, but be as neat as you possibly can. All right, so whatever your brow product is, I have purple hair right now, so mine is going to be the NYX Jumbo Liner, and this is in the shade Eggplant. So go ahead and give you a little brow shape now. If you do not love the shape of your brows or know what product to use, get to your nearest Ulta, or I think Sephora doesn't do it, but Ulta has a Benefit Brow Bar, and they will teach you how to use a brow product, figure out what brow product is the best for the look that you are trying to achieve, and then show you how to use those products. So for me, I'm just going to kind of get that about where I want it. And I need to bring it in a little bit because I don't have enough hair. Okay, and then I'm going to be using an angled brow brush. And we're just going to put that exactly where we want it with that brow brush. Give us a nice tip over there. Now, the beauty about this being a video podcast is if you need to go back and watch anything, or if something went too fast, or whatever the case may be, because it's in video, you can just rewind it and then watch it again here in a minute. So let's press on to our lashes. I'm going to be using the Great Grip Lash Curler, Great Grip Onyx something or another lash curler. And this is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. And let's go. Well, we're going to say the Bible verse while we are putting our mascara on. So that will be our timer. And because it's a little bit long this week, we only have to do it that one time. So you want to make sure that when you're curling your lash, and yes, curl your lashes even though you're wearing false ones, because you want your lashes to curl up and into the false lashes and just kind of seamlessly blend in there together. So while you're curling this, you want to make sure that it is not pinching your eyelid. If you feel any pain at all, then you need to release it, pull it out just a little bit, and try it again. So we're going to find that sweet spot. Okay, there we go. There's mine. And here comes the verse. There we go. And crimp. And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling cloths, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Luke 2, 1-7. All right, same thing on the other side. Go ahead and find that sweet spot. Okay, here we go. Let's wait for that verse to roll around. Not quite ready yet. And, well, that's a drawback to having a long verse, huh? Okay. All right, here we go. And Krim. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them, no place for them in the inn. Luke 2:7. Look at me trying to jump ahead and get the words wrong. Okay, so we're just going to give a light coat of mascara on the top and then do the bottom lashes regular because they will not be getting false lashes. Okay. So we're just giving a nice coat so that they have some color to them and so that they'll blend in. And then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. All right. Now that we got a little color going on there, we're going to add some to the bottom lashes. And because they're not getting falsies, we want to make sure we do a good job of coating those. Okay, let's do the other side now. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I just love how smooth this mascara is. This one is not the waterproof, but this does a very good job of, it's not going to like bleed down or anything like that. So it does a good job of staying put. If you went swimming or something like that, it's probably going to need to be replaced. Okay, so we are going to be using this. Oh, I think I have my lashes on upside down from the box, but this is the it's the Kiss lashes, the Luss extensions, and this one is Royal Silk. Just ignore the package. So if you are pulling this brand new out of the box and you have not wore these before, you are going to, well, if you can get it out of the box, there we go. You are going to trim these from the outside edge of the lash. Now, these are the Royal Silk have a little bit of a flare. So it's a little tiny bit narrower on the inside than it is on the outside. Easiest way to do it is just make sure that you trim it straight away as you pull them out. So the outside edge of the lash is what you're going to trim. So we would just use our lash tool to hold that in place. And then we would use the velour lash scissors to trim that. Those are very pointy and sharp and excellent for what they do. And then we've got this little velour tool that can help brush your lashes in place and then help maintain those lashes. You should be able to get a good at least 14 days out of these lashes here because these are just really nice. It's a clear band, so you don't have to worry about having like a thick black line. We do add the eyeliner on there so that any gap that you have between your natural lash line and those false lashes will be kind of covered. It's sort of like your insurance policy for those lashes. So we're just going to grab that lash right here in the center. And actually, it looks like I did not do such an effective job of cleaning those lash lines. So if you have wore your lashes before, there are several ways that you can clean yours. I prefer to just do like this. If you just grab that lash band, you can get that glue off and it just like peels off because it's like it's not, well, this one doesn't have silicone, but it's got that kind of like tacky, stretchy texture to it. That's how it stays and is waterproof. So it's pretty easy to clean off. There is lash cleaner if you want to go that way. I'm a little bit lazier that way, and I just don't usually do that. When I have had like eye problems or something like that, I have chosen to just throw that lash pair away and get you a whole nother lash. There is no sense in having, bacteria or anything like that around your eye. So if you have any kind of an eye problem at all while doing your lashes, save yourself the doctor's office visit and the antibiotics and just discard the lashes, get another pair. But these are typically designed for to be a 14-day wear. So you can see I got the band all cleaned off now. So we're going to grab one of those right there in the center. And then we're going to grab our lash gluer. This is the iLure 18-hour lash glue. Love this one. I think this works best. It does not have any latex in it. So if you have any kind of sensitivity at all, I don't anywhere except on my eyes. But if you have any sensitivity at all to lash glue, it could be that you're using a lash glue that has latex in it. So we're just going to grab that little paddle and we're going to put that glue right on the top of that lash band. And then we're going to also put it on the back side of that lash band. Okay, that might have been a little too much right there, but there we go. Then we're going to do that same thing with the other lash. So again, grabbing that in the middle. It's going to go right on the top of that band. And then it's going to go just on the back side. And because this is a clear band, there's not like a very big backside to this, but there is a little tiny bit. And then we want to make sure also that we're hitting those end corners well so that they have enough adhesive to be able to stay strong and tough. All right, so we're going to give that just a second to dry down. You'll know what that adhesive is ready to go because when you first put it on, it's very shiny. And as it dries down, it starts to get a little bit dull, and then it'll lose its shininess and start to get a little bit clear. So we should be about ready though. So we're just going to grab that lash. I like to kind of give them a little bit. Let's give them a little bit of some rounding there. And this is going to be this one here. So we're going to grab it and we're going to set it right down there in the middle. Just touch it up to your skin there. And grab that outside edge, set that down on that liner that you put. We're going to go to the other outside edge. Grab that lash, set that down right up against that lash line. And then we're going to take the lash tool and we're just going to make sure that my lash and that lash are in the same space and are happy. There we go. We're going to take the tip, work our lashes into the lashes there. Once it feels like everything is all happy, honky-dory, then we can move to the other lash. Okay, and see how different it is with the lash versus without the lash. It just makes such, even if you don't choose a big bold lash, I believe these are in that like medium area. It just gives you just that extra little punch of something, something. So grabbing that lash right there in the center, I'm going to set that right down in the middle, right on that line. I think I got some adhesive on the, there we go. Okay. Then we're going to take that tip of that tool, get that on that liner, outside edge, right on that line. I don't know why, but on this one, I have a tendency to go too far to the inside. So then I have to grab the outside edge and like, duk, duk. Okay. And then we're going to smash those two together. This is a curled lash. So whenever you go putting your tool in there, you have to like kind of open it up to get around the curl of the lash. I love them though. They're one of my favorites. I need to open up another Juvia's Place one because I used up that one I had. There we go. And then you can just give a little press. Make sure everything stayed put. Okay. So now we have our snowflake, snowflake look. And you can see, oh yeah, that foundation has definitely settled down now that we've done all of that. So we put all this time and effort into this. We wanted to stay put, right? So this is a Juvia's Place Ready, Set, Sealed. We're just going to give that a little bit of a shake. Mm. Fan that down a little bit, and now you are good to go for all day. So thanks so much for hanging out with me here today. It has been a delight to be with you. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week on social media or on my website, A Little Bit of Makeup and a Whole Lot of Jesus. Don't forget to visit the shop where all the products that have been used today will be in the shop here momentarily. So let's go ahead and look at our verses that we've been working on. So last week, we were studying that first candle, the prophecy candle. This was a candle of hope. And that was Isaiah 11. And we were in verse, I believe this was verse 3. There shall come forth a shoot from the stump of David, and a branch from his roots shall bear fruit. And then this week, we're continuing on with that second candle, which again is another one of the purple candles. And this is the candle of faith and the Bethlehem candle. So Luke 2, verse 7, and she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger because there was no place for them in the inn. So that is where we are. And we have got coming up, be looking this week for links for pre-ordering of our Color Me Janes. That is going to start in January. It will be season 3. That still has a couple of little tweaky formatting things, but we are like so close. So I feel comfortable with us going ahead and releasing some pre-release links. So that is what we'll have going happening this next week. And so let me go ahead and send you out with a blessing. If you know this song, just sing it with me. So this is from Numbers 6, 24 and 25. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Oh, Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for all the women who have hung out with me here today, who are enjoying just your beautiful color spectrum, your nature of the snowflakes with me here this morning. I pray that you would help us to remember the faith that that candle represents this week, and that we would remember the birth of Jesus as we step into the holiday season, because although it's just like a cliche saying, it's so true. Jesus is the reason for the season, and help us to keep that at mind. Father, help us to remember these verses for the Advent season so that we'll have them for ourselves to protect our heart and minds, but then also be ready and accessible to share with those who are around us. Father, I just thank you so much for each and every one of these ladies, that you would bless them as they go out this week, and help us just to remember what a blessing it is to get to be a daughter of the King, Father, and to celebrate that beauty with color, with finger painting every day. And I just thank you so much. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you. I look forward to seeing you throughout this week. I hope that you enjoy that theme song, that new theme song, as we head out here this morning. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday morning. Mwah. Love you. Get ready.